Assalamu alaikum, this is me, your English instructor Muhammad Hasnain. As you all know, there is lots of skills that are meant to be learned. But the skill that we are talking today is a skill that is very important. It is a must for even an average person. Even for a failure, it is a must. He should have this skill. I've met lots of people, they lack in this skill and they need to improve it. They don't listen, but they want to speak. Yes, we are talking about communication skills. Now, what is communication skills? How does communication skills work? And how or when to use communication skills? Other than all of these things, what is communication skills? The power to convey your message from one person to another person. To convey what's happening here to another person's here. Understand? When you convey your message, but in the correct way. Now, what I saw is that lots of people don't know how to communicate because they don't listen to the person that they are having their communication with. When you listen, you will understand. And for answering and having a good communication, you need to listen. Unless you don't have the power to listen, you cannot become better. So number one thing is listening. You have to listen others. You have to listen others. It's very important. That's why I wrote it. Whatever I write on my board is going to be the important stuff. It's going to be the one that is quite important. So you have to listen to others first of all. That's the number one thing. Second thing is when to use these skills. Usually we use this in our class. We use it in our jobs. We use it in our jobs. We use it in our class. Why? Because when we do presentations or when we do other stuff, we do it. But now the disadvantage of communication skills. Lots of people take advantages of this skill, which is wrong. You shouldn't do that. It is not right. Now, in front of your family, you should never do this thing. When you start using your attitude type of language, it may impress others, but not your family. So I would recommend not doing it because I personally suffered while doing it in front of my family. But other than family, it's quite okay. Now, how to get communication skills? So number one thing for how to get it is boldness. Boldness. It's very important. You have to be confident. You have to be bold. When you aren't bold, you aren't confident, you cannot do it. It's up to you. If you're confident, if you're bold, if you're open, so then it is very easy. But if you're not open and you're just kind of like putting yourself and giving yourself less space, so that's wrong. The thing you have to do is be open, be free, and talk freely. That's the simple formula for it. Number two, that is body language. Now, body language is very important. We also call it gestures and postures. They both are quite a bit different things. In body language, when you talk, according to your words, you start moving your hand. Now, if I'm talking that on that moment when I did that thing, just a little time after that, that thing happened, and it was so amazing, yaar. Like these things I did, when I was saying I did this finger, like I was showing my finger. So that means that I'm using my body language. When I say that just a little moment after, this means that I'm showing my body language. Now what is in gestures and postures? Gestures and postures are all about face. Now you might say that is pretty obvious, we all know it. And now what I am doing is called gestures and postures, you all know it. So like when you do like this, like this, or like this, or like we do that, like this. Every single thing that is done with the face is gestures and postures, the face one, and what is done with your body is called body language. Now what is the third thing that is very much important? For both of these, when you have it, the third thing that is very important is knowledge. So now what is knowledge? Now if you don't have knowledge, you won't be bold, of course. When you're saying lies or you're not familiar with the truth, so you always are shy. You always, whenever you try to hide, it's quite obvious you cannot hide. So the thing impossibly, like, it's not possible that you don't have knowledge and you're bold. It's very important. So when you have your knowledge, so both of these things comes directly. Number one, boldness. You get bold. You know what you're talking about. You know that you can do it. Boldness. Number second is body language. Now, body language is a different story. It takes experience, not any kind of knowledge. So that's obvious. Other than only these three things, number one is boldness, number two is body language, number three is knowledge. Other than these three things, there's nothing more. It's obviously a win for you. It's obviously so easy. It could be done very easily. So with all of these tips and tricks that I told you, so the thing that is very obvious is that you can develop your conversation skills very easily. But it only takes some experience. It only takes a few days, a few weeks of your practice, and after that you become a master of it. I became a master of it, and lots of people became the masters of it, and lots of people will become masters of this skill. This skill is no sorcery. This skill is not any kind of magic or stuff. This skill is just quite simple. It just takes practice and a good memory, of course, for remembering the things that you're going to say. When you're not planned, I forgot, there was also another point, but this is a bit upper than that. That is planning. What is your plan? Are you planned? Do you have a plan? Are you correct? Do you have it in sequence? Do your lines have sequence? Are your bullet points correct? All of these things come in planning. So the number one thing that I would say is, it's a bit informal, but still, planning. It's important. Plan it. If you cannot do anything, just plan it anyways. It's the most important and the easy part. It doesn't take time. It's quite easy. Just take a paper, write what you want, and just make some bullet points regarding the body or the part that you're talking about. What is that part related to? That's related to, for example, how to do that thing, or that's related to the how to the function, or how to function. So if it's related to the how to, so write in your bullet points that number one is how to, number two is what to, number three not what to, what, number four is where, number five is when. So all of these things come in it. All of your things, do plan it very carefully. This is what will help you in your future. And other than that, it's over. It's nothing more than that. So I think you enjoyed this class, and for more classes, keep being with me and we'll have some more classes. And until that, thank you so much, and bye-bye. Have a great time. Until my next topic.